Okay, so suppose if you want to create your own profile and create your own service, so let's close all this. Okay, so let me minimize this. So first we'll write the server, then we'll move to the client. Okay, so in the protos you have to create one proto file. So just go to the items and search here for the proto, and here you will find one template. So just rename this with the customer.proto. Okay, so it will create one like syntax and option. Okay, so here you need to define some contracts like service and messages. Okay, so like in the greeter we define like greeter and the greet. So here we can define the service like customer. Okay, and here we have to define one method which is RPC. Like in the greet we had no one like RPC and the method name, then what will be the return type, input parameter, and what will be the return type. Okay, so same way we can define here like we want some customer info. Okay, it will take some parameter. So before just creating this, let me create one messages. Okay, so I create a message called user lookup model. Okay, like here we have now in the greet we have this message. These are just the DTOs, your request and response. Okay, so we have message here. We can say it would be int32. This is the standard like int32, and I want to say this user ID and give it a field number as 1. Okay, so here it will take this user lookup model as an input and returns what it will return. We have like in the greet we have one like input and we have one output, so it will return your hello reply. So for same we have to create one here. So we'll say the user model. Okay, so like here we have no one, so we'll create the same here. So we'll go here and create the another message called user model. Okay, so here we'll define the string first name and it will be 1, and the string last name is equal to 2. If you'll observe here we have the same which earlier we had, which is generated by the gRPC compiler automated, like that was a sample, not automated. Like the same structure like these contracts like services and messages we have defined for our customer. Okay, so let me in this service add one service here. Okay, so this will be your not protobuf, this will be your class. So let me give it a name as customer service. But here we have to first set this customer proto properties to the like build action. We have to select the protobuf compiler, and stub class we have to select the server only because we are just working on the server side as of now. Okay, and after that you have to build your project. So once you will build, once the build will be succeeded, you will see here in the obj in your debug.net 8 you have protos. You will see the customer, and the customer gRPC code has been generated for you. This is the automated code generated for you. Okay, so let me quickly hide these and implement our customer service. So like here you have to use customer dot, not customer service, you have to use customer or dot customer base. Okay, so when you will have customer base, so here you can add the logger as well like we had there. So I'll quickly add one logger here, which is a type of your customer service. Okay, so we have one logger. So now we have to override the method we defined in the service here, like get customer info. Okay, so how? For that you can use here public override. Once you override in put a space, you will get all the overrides method, but you can override. But right now we are writing the get customer info, which we earlier defined in the proto. Okay, so I'll hit enter. Okay, so here what we want to return some customer infos. Okay, so let me quickly paste some code to save the time. So first create the user model. Here time and this for users. And change this to user as well. Then we need to select user and select 6 users. And here to define the first name user. Let's see what we have. Oh, we are already passing the definition here and before that let me move this to user. Okay, and once we have again do a build. Okay, so it was creating the confusion because somewhere we used customer and somewhere user. So I have synced with the customer only. Okay, so we were writing our customer service here. So first of all, let me add the logger here. So we have, I just want to log that we have executing this method. Let me write name of the method, our get customer info. Here we go. We can write method called. Okay, so let me paste some code to save some time. We have, so let me quickly create the customer model and we'll return this as an output. And here we have this, and we don't want to return this. Actually we want to return, we are returning tasks, so return task dot from result output. Okay, so this is for your service, customer service. You have created this code. Let me make a quick build if everything goes well. Yeah, we have completed with the server. So let me complete the client side as well. So if you observe here, earlier we had a client for the greeter. Okay, but now we want for the customer. So first thing, we have to use this proto file here. We have to define. Okay, so again define the properties here, but this time this is not the server, this is the client. Okay, the compiler, click apply. Okay, just to cross check, verify that we have added the customer as well, and just make a quick build. Yeah, everything is fine. So just go to program.cs and define the call here. So now we have to create the customer client. Okay, so what we'll do, we will create the customer client, and here we have to use customer dot customer client, and we have to pass the channel. We'll make sure that we are still using the same address, host or port. Okay, so now, but here again we have one request. Let me comment it down so it will not create confusion. Let me make to the above. Let's comment this line as well. Okay, so let me comment this as well and make it here. Oops, we were here. Okay, so we have customer client here. We have to create the request. So let's quickly check what request it expects. It expects one customer lookup model where it is expecting a user ID. Okay, we have to define customer lookup model where it is expecting one user ID, and we'll give it as 1. Okay, now we want response, so we'll go and we'll use await here, and now we have customer client dot, we have get customer info sync method. Will pass the request and we'll get the response, and we'll directly console.log the response here. Okay, so let me quickly build and check if everything goes well. Yeah, we are good. So make sure, let me cross check with the version. We haven't changed that. Let me go to the configurations, single startup. Okay, set the server as startup. Let me quickly check if we are still accessing the same port. Yeah, we are on the same port. Okay, so let's go back to the configuration and start both the projects simultaneously. Okay, so start. So we are getting exception here. We are getting the status code is unimplemented. What does that mean? We have status code unimplemented. Service customer is unimplemented. So would you like to give it a try? Why we get this error? Because we have defined one more service here in the services, but we have not inject this in our container. Like as you can see here, we are injecting these services, so make sure we have to add this service as well. What is this? This is our customer service. Once you inject that service, okay, you have to inject that in the pipeline. Okay, so now if you will quickly build this and do a start, it will work. As you can see, we have server here. It is saying get customer info method called, and boom, here you go. We have first name, we have last name. Okay, because we passed the ID one. So that exception we got that because we haven't configured the request pipeline for the service. We haven't injected this in the pipeline. So now we have injected, so the error or exception has been gone. Okay, so we have to define this as well. So this was like how you can create your custom service. Like you do not need to take too much into this. Just you have to define the proto. You have to give it a compile, or you have to build this. After your build, you have to define your custom business logic you want, or the action you want to perform. After that, in the client, you have to create a request, and you have to call that. It will give you a response. So this was about the how you can create a custom service into the gRPC with the custom proto file.